Hello, my loves, and welcome back. Do you have an anxious cat? Do you wish that you could brush your cat? Maybe they're not really anxious, maybe they just don't like brushing. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how to help your cat to love getting brushes. So if you haven't already subscribed to the Naturally Cats YouTube channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button along with the bell to get notifications of my new releases so you can help your cat with every video. Okay, let's dive in. So the first thing I wanted to say is when it comes to brushing your cat, the first step you need to take is to throw all of your expectations out of the window. So I learned the hard way with my cats over the past, God knows how many years. It's not about me. It's not about the fact that I want to brush them from head to toe. It's not about the fact that I need to get their coats clean or to keep their long hair from being, to stop it from being tangled or grubby. It's not about what I want, and it's not for you either. So if you haven't seen my previous video about 5 benefits of brushing, I'll drop a link below. In there, I talk about how wonderful it is to brush your cat for you and for the cat. And it is a brilliant It is a brilliant experience. However, not all cats are up for it. Not all cats want it. Not all cats like it. And not all cats will tolerate it. So I'm going to talk to you about how to deal with that in this video. So let go of the fact that you want to be able to brush the whole of your cat, okay? When it comes to behavior modification, which is what we're talking about in this video, it's about small steps. It really, really is. It's about patience. It's about small steps, and it's about celebrating those wins. So first of all, it's about understanding, where your cat is at and meeting them where they are. Are they the kind of cat that you pick up a brush and they go running out the window, out the door? Are they the type of cat that you pick up a brush and they're like, meh, not fussed? Can you even get near them with a brush? So if we think specifically about anxious cats, but like I said, this video applies to all cats. Perhaps you've got an anxious cat like Leo, my anxious boy, and when I first started to engage with brushing with him, like, you've got to be joking, I could barely put my hand anywhere near his face and he would run away. So we had to start off simple. So I would get a brush or a comb. This is my flea comb, but you know what I mean. And I would literally just leave it on the floor in the middle of the front room. And every time he walked up and down or he stopped to sniff at it, I would give him a treat, or I would give him verbal praise, or if he would tolerate it, I'd give him physical cuddles, basically a reward. So he's done X behavior and I give him this reward for it. So again, knowing what your cat likes will really be a benefit to you here. Are they physical? Are they driven by physical contact? Do they love to have snuggles and cuddles and scritches with you? Are they driven by food? If so, fill up on their favorite treat, not your favorite treat, their favorite treat, as long as it's not dry food. Do they love to hear your voice? Like, do they really love verbal praise from you? So again, knowing what motivates your cat will help here. So we literally just left the brush on the floor for like a week or two, and every time he walked past it or sniffed at it, I would give him praise. Now you can use a clicker. Hang on, let me go and get my clicker. Okay, so you can use a clicker, okay? And it makes a lovely noise. The only thing with clicker training is that you may not always have it on you. So despite this fact, it's got a really handy, attractive wristband. You may not always have it on you. So you can use clicker training, and it's about the cat does the behavior, you do the click, you give them the reward. Again, it's just another step in kind of training their brain to give you the behavior that you want. So you can use clicker training, but basically it's about bringing in as many positive associations as you can. Now, if we think about when we're learning a new skill, we want to see we're making progress. We want to realize that the effort that we're putting in, is paying off. So that's the same with cats. So start off with having the brush as something that's not really demanding anything from them. You're not pushing their boundaries by having any interaction with them with it. It's just there. Okay. And once they kind of walk past it without any bother at all, you can up your game, if you like. And this is really about understanding how anxious is your cat, and again, what will they tolerate? So do they sit next to you on the sofa? Do they sit on your lap? Are they under the bed? Right? And it's about bringing in the behaviors that you want in a safe way, safe for the cat. So if they're under the bed, leave the brush at the edge of the bed or leave it somewhere near their food bowl. If they do sit on your lap or they're next to you on the sofa, have it in your hand every now and again and just offer it to them. Okay, again, this is nothing about brushing, right? Nothing at all. It's just about saying to them, I have this, what do you think? Okay, you let them sniff it, you use the clicker, you give them a treat. Okay, and again, slowly building it up. What you might find is that when you've been doing that for a while, and I can't give you a timeline, it depends on every cat. Some cats it will be days, some cats it will be weeks. You up the ante and you are using really small increments to bring in this whole brushing behavior. So then when you hold it out to the cat, you might find that they kind of like sniff at it and then maybe gently rub their cheek against it. Again, click. If you use a clicker, click and treat, click and treat. And it's about not pushing your luck. So when we're doing something new, we reach a point of saturation where either our physical or our mental body has like had enough. If you're training for a marathon, you can only train and run so far until your body kind of gives up. And with cats and behavior modification, it's the same thing. So when they reach that saturation point, you want to stop. In fact, you want to actually stop just before it. Because if you keep going, what will happen is the behavior and the interaction, the emotional interaction will flip. And they won't find it a pleasurable experience. So if you're holding this out to your cat, they're brushing their cheek against it, just allow them to do it once or twice, click and treat, and then put the brush down. Try it again later in the day. Don't, and I've done this, so I speak from experience, don't push. Don't, oh, great, he's going for it. I'm great. I'm going to let him. Brushes 2, 3, 4 times and then does it again. And you think, oh, I'll go a bit further. And you go to brush and then they get reactive and they withdraw. And the next time you bring the brush out, they go and run away. That's what can happen. So like I said at the beginning, it's really about your expectations and understanding that you're not training your cat to accept brushes. You're training your cat to trust you, to trust that you will read them, to trust that you will know when to stop, to trust that you will be able to understand when they've had enough. They are learning to trust that you won't hurt them, which of course a lot of us wouldn't because we love our cats. But for them, when it's something new, excuse me, cats are adverse to change because they're a predator and prey animal. They are very cautious, even generally happy, kind of go lucky cats. And then continue to build it up again. Okay. So I'm going to pause there. I'd love for you to come into the comments and let me know which part of this has resonated with you so far. Has it been helpful? Have you tried this? Come into the comments and let me know. I love to hear from the Naturally Cats community. So once you've got to the point where they kind of like will sniff at it and maybe have a brush or two, take slow steps. Now, this is where your shift is really onto the cat. And by that, I mean, you're reading their eyes, their ears. Yes, that's right. You're reading the position of their ears. You're reading how wide their eyes go. You read kind of like how cautious or reserved they may become. So are their ears kind of like tilted at an angle? Are they getting a bit fierce and a bit cautious? Or are they softened? Are their eyes going to those slow blinks? Have they started to purr? Are they maybe drooling? Now, when you've got to the point where your cat not only accepts the brush, but tolerates the brush, then it's really a question of reading them to understand what they enjoy. So again, remember at the beginning, let go of your expectations. I can brush baby Max around his bloomers, around the back of his legs, where he's all fluffy, because he's got grubbies in there. There are slugs, there are leaves, there are brambles, there's God knows what. So sometimes I need to give him a good brush and get rid of what's there, the debris that shouldn't be. Other times I'll use the flea comb and I will be kind of doing gentle brushing to try to get fleas to see if there are any. Now, of course, you'll notice that the bristles and things are different. This doesn't go as deep down into the skin as this one does. So again, for a cat, it feels different. And then at night time, baby Max comes on my lap. I use this one because it's about helping him to relax. It's not about getting the grubbies out and having a good brush. It's not about getting all the fluff out because it's that time of year when, oh my gosh, they're molting. It's about actually helping him to feel soothed and relaxed and comforted and nurtured and loved. You know, I can put baby Max to sleep on my lap with a brush, because I can read him. I can read what he likes. I can read when his eyes close. I can read when he stops purring because he's actually fallen asleep. And I encourage you to do the same. Brushing your cat, yes, there is a practical reason for it, but to be honest, peeps, that's like 2%. You know, the other like 98% is about having a beautiful interaction with your cat. And like I said, I mentioned the 5 benefits of brushing in my other video, which I'll pop a link below. So to enable to support your anxious cat, to get your cat to go from perhaps hiding under the bed or being on your lap and, you know, not having any interaction with the brush, to actually accepting and enjoying brushes, it's about time and patience on your part. It's about putting your expectations out of the window, going at the pace of the cat, and reading them. You know, when you get to the point where you've moved up a level, you know, and you've gone from just offering them the brush and giving them the treat to actually being able to touch them with it and giving them a treat, that's a huge step forward. Do that for as long as you need to. Do that for as long as your cat will enjoy. Be led by them. If they sniff it and they start to rub on it, let them. But just hold that space for them. Allow them to do what they need to do. Now, just before I wrap up, you know, an anxious cat is a unique type of cat. I've dealt with it a lot with my cat Leo, and you'll see in my coming videos I'm talking more about anxious cats because they need different love and support. You know, you can't just plonk an anxious cat down on your lap and just give them a load of brushes regardless. Well, I mean, you could, but you are going to damage your relationship with them. You're going to damage your connection, and you might do irreparable damage, which means they don't trust you. So having an anxious cat is a real special kind of relationship. It's about you looking at what your expectations are, what pressure you're putting on yourself and your cat for them to eat, to have brushes, to interact, whatever it may be. More on that in coming videos. But particularly when it comes to brushes, Leo, like I said, would run away. And now he will sit, he actually comes to sit on my lap. Shocking. Never it used to be a lap cat. 4 brushes. Like once or twice, he'll walk across my lap and I'll go to stroke him and he's really not bothered. If I pick up the brush from the table, he does a 180, comes and plonks his butt down. And he sits there and he's all like, you know, lifting up his head. He's not too keen on it down around his body. I will do that occasionally just to make sure that there are no brubbies in him. I mean, he's short-haired. But for him, he really loves it around his third eye and around his scent glands on the side of his face and just a bit around his neck if he hasn't got his collar on. So that's the majority. He does get to a point where he reaches his excitement threshold, where if I do it for too long, because it's pleasurable, you know, pleasure is building, not like it is for humans, but he will get to a point where I'll go to brush him and he'll like look at me like I'm about to hit him with the brush, which of course I'm not, or he'll try to bite the brush, which I know he's reached his limit. So at that point, I will hold the brush still. I will give him one last rub on it and I will put the brush down. And I won't sit there and stroke him because basically he's heightened. All of his nervous system's on edge. You know, he's excited, he's happy. But to enable him to process and enjoy that happiness, now I need to step away. Now I need to just sit there with my arms back, with him on my lap, and let him feel that, which again, as humans aren't great at doing because we want to give them cuddles and have love and interaction. So take a moment to read your cat. You can brush an anxious cat. It may just take a bit of time, a bit of patience. And be led by them. Allow them to show you what they can tolerate, what they enjoy. And when you find that, give them more of it. So I hope this has helped. Like I said, come into the comments and let me know. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.